Hello and welcome to my Let's Play on the Lord of the Rings living card game. Kind of a weird game to Let's Play, I suppose, but I'm doing it anyway because I really like it. This is a single player card game, unlike most card games which are multiplayer. There will be co-op at some point too, but the game is currently in early access and only has single player. Basically, it's a card game, it's still collectible card game, that's what they call it, right? You collect cards. I currently have all the cards that the game has to offer. I'm not going to be showing any decks right now, I'll show this screen, but basically the way the game works is you select a few heroes such as Aragorn, Arwen, Dwalin, etc. And then from those heroes, they all have a color assigned to them, you build a deck. But I'm not going to go for all that right now, because we're going to do that in later episodes. I'm going to be playing through the campaign. But we're going to start in this episode with the tutorial. So there is a campaign, currently just the one, like I said, early access, so obviously there will be more in the future. The Shadow's Reach, but we're not going to do that right now. Get out of here, Shadow's Reach. We're going to be doing the tutorial first. But before I get into that, I want to just quickly go over what this game is. So like I said, it's a single player card game. You still have to collect all the cards and stuff in the vault. I can show you here, so Valor cards, I can go for unowned, none. I have all of them. I bought them all with Valor, which you get from playing the game. And you also get Palantir Views, which are basically card packs, although they only have a single card in them, as well as some Valor or cosmetics, things like that. You can change your cosmetics here. But again, it is single player, so this is all just for your own entertainment. There's some pack things you can buy as well. These ones you can buy with either real money or Valor too. They just have a bunch of cards in them, so you get like a blister pack, is that what it's called? I guess it is. And a hero attached to that too. So I bought everything, I still have loads of Valor left. I didn't spend any money on this game besides the money I spent on actually buying the initial game, which you don't have to do. It is free to play. Currently you have to in early access, but it will be free to play once it fully comes out, but it will have microtransactions. Feel of that what you will. I'm not going to judge right now. Anyway, so that's basically kind of the idea. I could open a Palantir right now, but I won't get a card out of it because I own all of them. The nice thing about a Palantir is, though, that you don't get any cards you already have. So, but what I did, basically, is I bought all the cheap cards, like the commons and uncommons, with Valor, and then I open all my Palantirs, and then you're guaranteed to get rare and legendaries, which are worth a lot more, obviously. It's good tactic, that. It's good tactic. Anyway, without any further ado, there's already been too much doing, I suppose. Let's jump into the tutorial, which I believe you can replay. Not from that menu, not so sure. Replay tutorial. I don't need to, because I do know how to play this game. I will be playing all the campaign on hard as well. Showing you how to do that. It's like it's a walkthrough. It's just a let's play. I'm just having fun here. I would actually, I should explain that too. So if you do, once you do the actual campaign, like I said, you build a deck with different heroes. If you, at the end, you get a score based on how well you did, obviously. You get Palantir Views and Valor for getting certain score thresholds, depending on who you're playing as. So if I play with this, well, I'm not gonna play this stupid started. Fuck off. I use my own deck. But yeah, if I use these three heroes, then I gain all the rewards which I've already done, which is great. But then if you play with different heroes, you can get those rewards again for those heroes. So that's pretty cool, I think, anyway. Which means you can get tons of Palantir Views. Like I said, I have all the cards right now. I still have 11 Palantir Views, and I've still got tons of heroes to play with through all these missions to get loads and loads more Palantir Views. So it is pretty cool. But it is a bit of grinding, but then again, it's a card game, so it's not really a grind because, you know, every time you play, it's going to be different. Because, you know, our enemy, Sauron, plays different cards each time you play against him. Well, he plays the same deck, but, you know, it's in a different order. It's a card game, guys. Come on. The fuck? Am I supposed to explain this shit to you? What the hell? Anyway, so we're going to play the tutorial. Because the reason I want to do the tutorial first is because it kind of sets up the story of the first campaign. Man, there's so much doing. I've talked for like 5 minutes. This is ridiculous. Let's do the tutorial. It does connect to the internet, which is, I guess, you know, yeah, you need to have an internet connection to play this, I think.
Bilbo waved to the Bjorning guards as he passed into the twilight landscape beyond the gate. A sickle moon was rising, and calm winds moved the grasses. Glóin was to have greeted them at Bjorn's hall, but the old dwarf had not yet arrived. He'd wished to accompany them on their journey through Mirkwood to Erebor. Despite weary feet and a full stomach, Bilbo was in need of an evening stroll to sing and to think, and hoped to be the first to greet Glóin on the road. Owen, Nori and Bomba were happy to sip the famous mead of the House of Beorn, especially Bomba. In the quiet way of hobbits, Bilbo moved invisibly through the night. Memories and thoughts of distant friends lay heavy on his heart that evening. The secret longing, the deep, dull ache that would never entirely abate, had grown stronger in recent days. Lost in memory, Bilbo wandered through meadow and plain, until he found himself at the edge of the greenwood in the last rays of the sinking sun. Scents of growth and decay drifted from the trees. A symphony of evening birds and insects was on the air. Bilbo came out of his reverie as something stirred in the tall bushes nearby. Glowing, perhaps. What emerged was not glowing.
My goodness, what might it be? Hail and well met. So this is basically telling us, I'm gonna, you know, it's a tutorial, but I'm gonna be doing the tutorial here. I'm not gonna listen to these freaks. It's basically telling us this is a rough cut. This is not the final tutorial, but this is kind of what they're working on. It's early access. So we can roll over everything to see what it does. I'm gonna tell you myself. Get out of here. Okay, so basically this is the, oh god, what's it called? I don't remember the name of this thing. Basically, your characters all have 3 different stats. You have an attack, a health, and then a willpower. The willpower meter, or this is the willpower meter. I don't know what the actual thing is called, but you use your willpower to fill this bar up, and there will be random things throughout each level. Let's call it that, which you will then you get basically an extra little bonus for that level. This is your deck. This is how much mana you have, or power in this game. Power, so the way this works in this game is you get 3 power per turn, and you draw, I think normally 2 cards, but on hard, I think you only draw 1 card. But you get 3 power every turn, so if you, for example, spend, you know, you have 3 power and you spend 1 during your turn, the next turn you get 3 more, so you have 2 that you remain from the last turn, you get 3 again, so you have 5. So it doesn't go away after the end of the turn. It stacks. So if you never spend your power, which obviously if you do that, you'll lose pretty quickly. But yeah, you will eventually. You keep adding up power. It doesn't go away. This is a question mark. These things are basically your preparation sockets. They're like your secrets. If you've ever played Hearthstone, if you play a secret, it goes in here. And then if the enemy Sauron does something that, you know, your secret does something against, then it'll pop up during his turn. Turns are very different in this game. We'll get to that in a second. So this is his hand right now. He's got 5 cards. His power, his treachery. So his treachery is basically the same as my preparation. Then we got this threat meter here. This is the threat meter. If it reaches 50, it'll always be 50 as far as I'm aware, unless they change it. Then the game ends. You just straight up lose. And this is basically a similar thing to what we have. We have to add points, the willpower in here to fill this up. This goes up by 1 every turn, and there's also loads of cards that increase threat as well, which is kind of dangerous. There's the history thingy, which you can click and then you can see what happened, but I've got that turned off for now. And that's it. You can also see, by the way, here, this is probably where the co-op is going to come into play. This isn't currently unused part of the thing, but... And then forest path, this is the current location or objective. So you can, basically the way this game works, we'll get to that in a second, but you travel through levels. So I've got a couple characters in play and they're wounded and all that, but I cleared this area and then I move on to the next one. My characters will still be wounded in the next area until I finish the whole level or the whole mission as a whole, I suppose. This button just shows you information of the current stage of the turn, I suppose. I think we got it all. I probably shouldn't have just scrolled over everything, but there you go.
I don't want any adventures.
So here's Bilbo. Bilbo, it wants me to see what everything is, so let's do that. So here's the threat value. So your heroes, which you only have 3 of those during each, you know, encounter or whatever, have a threat level attached to them. So like I said, once you get to 50, you lose, but your heroes start with basically around 10 each, so you always have 30 to begin with, or around 30, 29, 31. This icon means he's unique, and you can only have one in play at the same time. You can add more of these, well, not him, because Bilbo is a hero, if you will, but for example, Gandalf's a regular card. You can add 2 Gandalfs to your deck, but you can only ever play one at the same time. So if Gandalf's in play, you can't play the other one, but once he dies or goes away, you can use another one. Health value, this is health, this is attack, this is your willpower, so I was right about willpower. And that's what I said, you use that to fill that meter. Card ability, so you can use an ability, you don't have to, obviously you can just attack or whatever. But yeah, he's got an ability to power, his power is to steal power from Sauron, which is ironic. You cost, his power is to steal power. Trait, he's a hobbit, so this obviously makes sense. If you have like a card that gives you plus something for hobbit, then this works on him. And then this, so he's blue. So we got leadership, lore, spirit, tactics, and neutral. I think this is spirit. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter. He's part of one of the 4 different things, 5 if you count neutral. Attachments, these are your items that you can equip. So for example, you can equip 1 piece of armor, 1 piece of a weapon, and other things, which I don't know what these means anymore, but it's like a, I don't know, like health regeneration, whatever. But yeah, there are attachments. The power button, so this is what to use the power, you click this button to add faith to the meter here. You use that button, and to defend, you use this. Defend is really, really strong, but we'll get to that later as well. But basically what it does is it gives a creature taunt until it gets attacked, and then the taunt goes away again. But you have an ability called block, which again is stuff we'll see later. This is kind of a weird tutorial, because I'm explaining everything, but I'm doing it way slower than the game would have done. But anyway, let's hope you find it entertaining. But yeah, there's something called block, and block reduces all damage taken by 1. So you can using defense on a creature that has block is incredibly powerful, because you can just basically make it so that that character takes a lot of damage. But, well, doesn't take as much damage, but he takes the damage for other people anyway.
The trees of Mirkwood bring back memories of my younger days.
Oh no, it's a rock adder.
Many of them unpleasant.
2.
Ah, snakes!
Select a rock adder to view the card detail. Oh, I'm gonna select that one apparently. So yeah, they're distinct from hero units. Let's look at the features. Sure, let's look at those. So this is basically the same. This is the power cost. We have that, of course, as well. Their attachments are the same. They have attack, they have defense, they are a creature. You know, it all kind of is the same. This creature is not a unique, of course. I mean, there's 2 of them right there, which kind of gives it away. Your quest begins. So we gotta murder these 2 dudes. So the way the system, or this game works, is during upkeep. So first you got your upkeep phase. You draw your cards, you gain your power. And then any creature that has a upkeep ability, for example R1 has a +1, like heal a character for 1. So during upkeep you get to heal a character for 1. And then, you know, there's different things that happen during upkeep like that. And then you get to adventure phase, which is where me and Sauron take actions. The way this game works though is it doesn't let me do my whole turn before Sauron does his whole turn, etc. You actually take one action. I, for example, attack this creature, and then Sauron can do something with his stuff. So he can either attack back, or he can play a card. But then if he does one thing, I can go again, I can play a card, or I can attack, or whatever. So it goes back and forth until either one player, well, until both players pass, basically. If one player passes, then the other player can do freely whatever the hell they want. Anyway,
now
sure.
Take a taste of my elvish blade. Sting!
Sting! Alright, so we gotta select Sting to look at what it does. So Sting is an attachment. It's a weapon, specifically. So you can see the cost. This costs 2 power to play. It's a unique item or a weapon. It gains +1 attack or +2 when attacking orc or spider target. So it has a general +1, and if you attack an orc or spider, it gives another 1 on top of that. This once again is the same as the other one, but that doesn't matter. You can still attach this to a different character. It's just the fact whether you can put this in your deck or not depends on which heroes you have in your deck. So yeah, in adventure phase you take turns performing actions with Sauron on your opponent. So it wants me to equip Sting on Bilbo. And then this asshole attacks. And now he's exhausted. There are ways to unexhaust your creatures so they can attack again that turn, but you know, there's a specific cards and things like that.
Ah! The beast has a vicious bite! But so do I.
Yeah. So it wants me to attack. Obviously we're gonna murder this one because he hasn't done his turn yet. Lazy lob. So Sauron passes, He's got 3 power and 5 cards. What an idiot. Anyway, you pass automatically when you cannot take any more actions, which we currently cannot. So we both pass the round ends. And then we go on to the next one. So we got upkeep, which we draw our cards. We got our power. So you can see here, we got 4 power now. I drew 2 cards for some reason. All exhausted units in play ready to start in each round. So yeah, everyone's available to do whatever the fuck they want again. You then gain 3 resources and draw 2 cards. So resources, power, of course. However, I think draw only 1 card on the hard. I'm not 100% sure about that actually. Even though I played all of them on hard, I don't remember if that's the case or not. I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But it says it here too. A character may have 1 attachment of each type. So this is a special attachment. So I guess it wants me to do this. So upkeep, Sauron loses 1. So every time during upkeep, Sauron loses a power if we equip this on him. Which I don't know why we're doing this, but we should be attacking first, because otherwise we take 1 damage.
That hurt!
The beast has a vicious bite.
Lazy lob!
I've defeated the snake. Select travel to continue your journey. So yeah, now we're going to move on, and Bilbo is still going to be a free 6.
Forest Road is no longer safe.
I could have also played that, but the game won't let me.
For days, a strange pull had drawn the creature towards the forest's edge. Desire drove it on. The creature missed the cool air and precious darkness under stone. Yet for years it had roamed the wilderland, faithfully searching, hunting, craving. A nearby noise attracted its attention, and the creature slid through the branches to investigate. As it peered out of the trees onto a small trail, its ancient heart began to beat rapidly. For there it stood, the thief, the forever cursed. Finally, Baggins.
Beware! We will face them together, old friend.
Old friend. Secure the camp from the spider incursion. Upkeep, so now we make Sauron lose 1 power. Some cards have special abilities to trigger during upkeep. Select secure the camp. Okay, so we have to look at this thing. This is an objective. Beasts threaten all around you. Secure the camp from your foes. So basically, we need to use our willpower to get rid of this. So this only has 1 willpower thingy. So we attack it with any character that has 1 or more, of course, and it will clear, and then we get whatever this is. Oh, well, it tells you here too, doesn't it? But it's basically what I just said. Alright, so apparently we're playing this Forest Protector, which has guard, so it blocks a single attack.
Well met, friend elf.
And it also returns damage. So when the guard keyword is active, no other target can be engaged. So it's just like taunt in any other card game, except it works a little differently in that it goes away after you take damage, but you do return damage. Whereas normally, this is actually something I should have mentioned earlier, you don't return damage when someone attacks you, and they don't return damage if I attack them, unless they of course have guard or some other special thing. Anyway, so that one murdered. Unit with guard active deals reciprocal damage, so yeah, it deals damage back, and then it's removed after being attacked or exhausted. So I could have, for example, if this creature was guarded and they for some reason didn't attack, he played a card or something, and then I attacked with it, it would also lose its guard. Why do you want me to do that though? Sure. Alright, of course, we got the +1 from Sting. Makes sense. Lazy lob. So even though it's just come into play, it can immediately move as well this turn. Which is sweet.
More of the foul beasts descend.
Cancel damage from the next enemy attack. Sure. So that's a preparation card, which means it's like a secret, like I said earlier. And he's attacking and it's triggered, so we don't take any damage. And now we apparently murdered the spider. Sauron passes. So we got the brooch, which gives Stalwart. It's gonna explain this, but Stalwart basically lets you, it's like Wind Fury in Hearthstone, you can move twice, or do abilities twice. So yeah, we'll put it on glowing, because that's what the game wants me to do. It doesn't let me do it now, but now he has Stalwart, he could do things twice. So we got upkeep, so he's losing 1 power. We get our 2 cards, we gain a bunch of power ourselves.
I thought this road was safe. No longer, it would seem.
Right, so each hero belongs to a sphere of influence, And then, yeah, so we have Glowin, I guess, is purple. Yep, so we get the Mirkwood Watcher. He's in our deck because that is possible. 2/4 ranged. So ranged means that it can attack past taunt, which I'm guessing is when it, yeah, can bypass guard. But this is not a particularly great move right now, but sure. The game wants me to do it. I will do it. This is also a bad move. You basically, in a case like this, you want to be using your own. I'm not going to do it because the game doesn't want me to, but you want to use that yourself, because then he attacks into me, and then he also takes 2 damage. If I attack right now, we both take 2 damage. So I guess the end result is kind of the same, but...
More like a grocer there,
Alright, so he's used a hazard, which you need to get rid of. In a case like this, by the way, you should attack with the ranged character, because the ranged character, if it attacks it, it loses its guard, and then it doesn't take damage in return because it's ranged. So you gotta get rid of this. Well, you don't have to, but otherwise it's gonna do whatever it says. So during upkeep, Sauron gains a power if we don't get rid of this. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna kill this spider.
lazy lob.
Because we got Sting. Sauron uses Watch in the Dark, which gives him 1 threat. So only a unit with willpower value can engage an objective, which makes sense. So we're gonna get rid of this thing. Oh. Thanks to the stalwart, right, so thanks to the brooch we have stalwart, so we can do 2
Like a grocer there,
We best get
actions per
moving
turn.
before more show up.
That's going to teach us, when we travel, all enemies that are still unexhausted, haven't used their move yet, can still do their move. So we can travel right now, but this thing is going to just do an attack. Or they kill this guy. I'd imagine. Yep.
I depart.
Very well. But he goes away. Unless the enemy has pursuit, they're gone.
The creature hesitated. It would have struck without mercy, had not that filthy dwarf been with Baggins. The creature feared the strength of dwarves. Fortunately, it knew of a safer way to snare its prey, for the creature had made friends in the forest over the years. It had learned their chittering tongue, and they'd helped each other in dark deeds. Noiselessly, under shadowed boughs, the creature slid off to plead with the lady of the nearby brood. Tasty flesh it would offer her. For himself, the creature desired only a tiny thing. A trinket. The smallest of things.
Right. I wonder what that is. We know what it is. It's the ring, of course.
Just like old times.
If only the rest of the company was at our side.
If only. Restore the spider's nest to complete the quest. Be gone 1 power. Use Bilbo to attack a spider guard. Okay, I'm guessing this thing isn't gonna murder us, because it could if we attack this thing right now, we're gonna kill one, but then Bilbo can just get murdered immediately.
Lazy lob.
Yeah, he just attacks that. Alright. Wants me to play the Ravanian Outrider.
Enemies gather in the east!
Enemies gather in the east!
Glowing. There's an opening. Attack!
Okay, so this guy gains +1 willpower this round when engaging an objective that is at full quest value. So right now, the best play would probably be to attack and then... Actually, no, never mind. Well, actually, no, yeah, because he has stalwart. So we'd attack, and then this thing would be gone. And then we get some friends, but apparently the game doesn't want me to do this. So this guy's block, so he reduces incoming damage by 1. So we're going to do 1 damage to him.
Moria! That beast has a tough hide!
A tough hide. Selects King Spider to view the card detail. So yeah, he has block, which means damage is reduced by 1. No, so it's Bilbo's cloak, whatever.
Give that back. Come back with that.
Alright. Why would we switch our...
Like a grocer than a burglar.
Okay. Sauron gains +1 power for each ally in place. So the way this works is, currently these two are heroes, because you can see by their golden portrait, I guess, or golden like card. This is an ally, so because he's silver, so he only gains +1. He doesn't get anything from these guys.
The whole blasted forest is against us.
Alright, so he's got the extra ability, so we're going to use that against the cloaked. stranger. After Sauron's passage, we continue to take turns, so we can do whatever the hell we want. So we can lose some threats. So you can see, by the way, the threats. Oh, I can't actually click on it right now because the game won't let me. But you can see what this is normally. And then the round ends automatically. Alright. Once we have a look at sneak attack, summon a random ally. This ally gains fleeting. So fleeting means that it's going to explain it now, I'm sure, but yeah, it's removed at the end of the round. So it only lasts for, well, this round basically, and then it goes away.
Nah, I am but scratched.
We get an Imlander's caregiver, who restores 2 health to a character on arrival. So we're going to do that to
You need
Bilbo.
not worry about anything for the present.
Alright, so yeah, this is a hazard that makes each ally that enters play exhausted. So if we were to play this card now, which we can't even do because the game won't let me, then he would come into play exhausted. He does a surge. Surge is basically you get to take an action right away. It doesn't have to be with him. If you play him, you can do whatever the hell you want besides that. But you can attack with him as well, of course. Anyway, remember that one. And then he gets the +1, so we're going to take care of that. And then the game probably wants me to play the Warden. Some bats.
They're swarming me. Hurry!
Hurry! So he gets +2 willpower, or 2 willpower. He doesn't get any attack. Can we actually click on this now? No, it still won't let me look at that. Alright. Obviously during a normal mission we can do that. But the tutorial's like holding our hands. The standard quest requires 3 heroes. We have, this is our 3rd one now, but normally of course you choose your own.
I
In the deck.
am Grimbjorn, son of Bjorn. We welcome your aid.
So he is Grimbjorn. He has upkeep, restore 1 health to a character. Pretty decent general character. We also got a new Spider's Nest. The Sport of Spider's Nest cannot engage while King Spider's in play, which is this one right here.
Moria!
So let's do some murdering here. Gain +1 threats after attacking this enemy. Alright, we'll do 3 damage to this. Oh, you want me to use the power, sorry. So we're reducing his power by 2, and we stole it. Stole it from us! Right, okay, so he wants us to ready Bilbo.
Tough you may be, but you will still feel my sting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Only 3 damage, of course, because he has block, and we also gain threats. So threats actually gone up to a higher number now, so this is going to happen at the beginning of next turn. Character's willpower can take an action to add to your fate pool. So we're going to use Grimbjorn to add, so then we basically get this available. If we wanted to use this, which we can do. Oh, the game wants me to do this right now, so we get to draw a card for 2 willpower. These are always different depending on the mission. Gandalf has arrived. Since sneak attack played him Lada's caregiver, so that's fleeting, so this is going to go away now. Goodbye. Farewell. We can see this now. Okay, so Venomous Fangs. Deal 2 damage to a random character. I think... yeah, we just looked at that. Thank you, game. Wonder who's going to take that. Ooh. There it is. 2 to Glowin.
It burns!
It burns. Oh, the game lets me choose my heal this time around. Okay. Am I going to be allowed to do whatever the hell I want as well? Because then I know what I'm doing. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I suppose, but yeah, let's do this. Oh, no. Okay. Fine. I was trying to save him, but the game makes me kill him off. It's a good thing I didn't heal him then.
Is there no end to these awful creatures?
I was going to guard with these 2 guys, but well learned. While there's more to discover that will help you on your quest, you've learned the fundamentals that will carry you through the battle. It is down to you now to defeat the King Spider, destroy the nest, and win the day. Alright, game. Let's do it. So, let's have a look here. Yeah, this guy's going to get himself killed for basically no reason. Gandalf has a pretty sweet thing. He can either draw 3 cards, lose 3 threats, or deal 3 damage, which is pretty sweet. So we do the 3 damage, we instantly kill this guy. But we also have 3 damage from other characters, so we don't need to do that. The Warden, if we play him, we can immediately do another action, which is nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and just... let's murder... Problem with this one is it's got a block, because otherwise I would just attack it with him, but he only does 1 damage to it. So I think we're going to go ahead and murder that one with you.
Lob.
Lazy lob. He's dead. F. And Grimbjorn, he's got really high willpower, so we could do this on that, but... actually, you've got 4, so yeah, let's just do this. Alright, we don't care what he does, so we're gonna use Gandalf.
I am a servant of the secret fire.
Flame of Odin. So right now we don't need anything because we've already won this turn. We can't lose anymore, so let's just do some fret. You get more points the lower the fret meter is, so that's always a good thing to do. So we're just gonna get rid of this thing.
To the shadow.
Sauron passes because he has no power.
He looks more like a grocer than a burglar.
Oh god, there's Ungoliant spawn. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Oh, never mind. It didn't happen.
While the party was focused on destroying the spider's nest, a massive spider lunged from the shadows to capture Bilbo and steal him away. Glowin recognized that the beast was a spawn of Ungoliant, a spider of tremendous power. He realized that they must return to the nearby Bjornings to organize a rescue party. Their mission clear, the companions returned to the Hall of Bjorn with the greatest of haste.
He didn't realize anything. He Riesli-eyed.
The tranquility of Beorn's hall was shattered when a devastated Glowin arrived, exhausted and anguished. The old dwarf tearfully explained how he'd met Bilbo in the outskirts of the Greenwood, and how they'd been ambushed by great spiders who had taken the dear hobbit.
And to think that Bilbo Baggins rescued us from such webs. It's almost more than I can bear.
Sobbed the old dwarf.
If only Gandalf were here.
Alas, the Grey Wizard was nowhere near Beorn's hall. But another group of hardy folks had arrived shortly after Bilbo left for his evening walk. The time has come to begin your journey. Go forth, and farewell.
Alright, this is where I think you normally make an account, but I already have one, so I don't have to do that. So that's the tutorial. I know this I mean, if you play it yourself, you'll be done in like 10 minutes, but I feel like I did a decent job of explaining everything. So I'm going to be playing the campaign as well, which is obviously going to be a lot more fun, because I can just, you know, do my own thing. I've already got some decks built, which I might quickly go over in those respective videos. They're going to be fairly simple. I mean, they're going to be almost identical all the way through. Like I said, you can play with different heroes. So far, I've only played with these 3, to be honest, but it's worked out pretty well for me. But yeah, maybe I'll do several playthroughs with different characters. I'm not entirely sure what the plan is right now. I really just want to do a Let's Play where I play through the campaign, basically for the story, while still doing it on hard mode. But yeah, because you got Ika Spider and Filthy Orcs. The literal only difference is that this has a card that is dedicated to killing orcs, which is pretty decent. Get the orcs, deal 2 damage to every orc, which sometimes can be fucking insane. But yeah, it's pretty cool. There are some cards, for example, like this here, and also the Bow of the Galadrim right here, that have 2 of these things next to them. So you require 2 tactics heroes. So those are Gimli and Legolas. This is the sword deck, you can't get rid of it. But yeah, you got 2 red, which is tactics, Gimli and Legolas. So you have to put both of them in just to be able to access that card in your deck. And yeah, you've got Aragorn and Dwalin for your whatever the hell this is. It doesn't tell me. It's lore. No, it's not. It's spirit. No, it's definitely leadership. There you go. Yeah, you got Arwen and Faramir. Again, you have to purchase these with either Valor points or real money if you want to have most of these characters. Well, some of them. I think 4 of them are available right away, 4 of them are not. I think Aragorn, Arwen, Gimli, and Tom Took are all available. And then the other ones you got to purchase. But you can do it with Valor points. So if you buy the game right now in early access, you get a whole load of Valor points, which is enough to get all of them easily. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, I'll probably play with these 2 decks all the way through, because I found, from what I looked at the cards anyway, the blue ones seem very tactical, I guess. I mean, are they literally tactics? No, they're not. They're spirit. They have a lot of cards that are preparation, things like this. Cancel the damage from the next enemy attack, and next ally from your deck that is defeated returns to your hand instead. Things like that. Losing Fred, I've got other ways to do that. So I don't really like the blue so far, but hey, we'll see. Anyway, this episode has already taken much longer than I anticipated it to, so let's end it here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of this Let's Play. I have no idea if anyone's actually interested in watching this at all, but it's just bear with me for the first actual episode. When we get to the campaign, it's going to be more fun. The tutorial is literally just a tutorial. But I figured I'd play it so I can explain all the things to you, all the gameplay mechanics and all that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the first proper episode. Until then, have a good day and goodbye.